Now, one of the things that we talk about regarding Anheuser-Busch and the whole Bud Light drama that went down is the fact that a lot of it's kind of like a trickle-down effect, right, ladies and gentlemen? So everything trickles down from corporate down to the actual wholesalers and distributors, but we never actually talked about the people who are out there trying to sell Bud Light face-to-face to certain corporations, businesses, or whatever the case may be that will utilize this beer. Now, apparently, the salespeople who are in charge of actually selling the product are now complaining that their commissions are being hurt drastically from the boycott. Whenever I read these articles, I tend to wonder what exactly is going on here, because not only are they obviously hurting, we already know they're hurting, but it makes me wonder if these articles are being thrown out here and being paid by people who are trying to get other people to feel sympathy for what's going on to the people being affected by the whole Bud Light drama in an attempt to try to garner some sympathy purchases for Bud Light. I'm really not sure, but this one comes to us from ABC News, and the title says, "Thrown in their faces, Bud Light salespeople say boycott is hurting their commission. Thousands of salespeople have suffered financial pain." So we're going to get into this article, guys, but of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like so you can push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 24,000 subscribers. So it says, salespeople promoting Bud Light for a Florida-based distributor have grown accustomed to car horns, middle fingers, and jokes amid a weeks-long boycott, but say they have struggled to ignore thousands of dollars in lost commission pay to sales supervisors at the distributor told ABC News. Now, again, guys, it's a trickle-down effect, right? We knew this was going to happen when Bud Light decided to get woke, right? And unfortunately for these distributors, we've said it over and over again till we're blue in the face. It is not their fault what's going on. They're basically collateral damage for these corporations that decided to do virtue signaling to the Pride community, and now they're going to feel the effects of that corporate decision. They don't get the same level of ESG funding and whatnot that these corporations do, so they're basically left out on the whim to figure out what to do with their lost sales. And considering that Bud Light is down 20 to 30% throughout the entire country and rising, you gotta imagine that's 20 to 30% less commission that these people are making. That is a drastic difference in pay that they are experiencing. It is actually quite sad, but unfortunately they are collateral damage. It says a typical salesperson at the distributor made roughly $2,000 less in May than he or she would have over each of the previous 2 years, suffering primarily from a decline in Bud Light sales that reached as much as 60% over the week ending in Memorial Day, the sales supervisor said. That is insane. Wow. Almost 60% decline week over week starting on Memorial Day. Oh my God. The number gets absolutely bigger as the weeks progress, and it's only going to get worse as we get further into the summer months, ladies and gentlemen. We've said this time and time again. The summer is the time for buying beer. Everybody knows that. Summer months are the top months when it comes to the beer industry. So you got to imagine Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch are going to feel the ramifications of their decision to go woke. And unfortunately, like I said many times before, these people are collateral damage. It is quite sad to see, but if I were them running this business, I would probably look into selling other products other than Anheuser-Busch. Some of them do. Most of them don't, though. Some of them are dedicated Anheuser-Busch sellers because Anheuser does have a ton of different brands other than Umbrella, but you're probably going to have to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to probably go to something else if you want to stay afloat. So the salesperson says this has really killed a lot of the guys who are commission-based. That's who it's really hurting. One supervisor said, "There's nothing they could have done. This was thrown in their faces." Precisely. That's what I've said. This has been thrown in their face by corporate, and they unfortunately are collateral damage. A consumer boycott of Anheuser-Busch InBev over promotion in April from a trans influencer has pummeled the company's stock, but it's also brought financial pain for thousands of salespeople as independent distributors nationwide, many of whom depend largely on performance-based pay, former Anheuser-Busch InBev executive Anson Frericks told ABC News. Now, is Anheuser-Busch corporate going to pay these people? I wonder, right? Is Anheuser-Busch ever going to pay these people the loss in money that they have experienced because the corporate side of things has decided to get woke? Like, are they going to pay their paychecks? Are they going to pay their made-up loss in money? Like, of course not. Of course they're not going to do that. We know that. We know they're never going to do that, ladies and gentlemen. This is corporations at the end of the day. They're not your friends. It says sales of Bud Light has recorded declines for 7 consecutive weeks after a product endorsement from Dylan Mulvaney the Grifter, a transgender influencer grifter, sparked backlash among many conservatives. The boycott gained momentum, meanwhile, after the initial response from the company was perceived as a conciliatory by some LGBTQ advocates, prompting frustration on the left. Those losses have slashed the income of salespeople who work for roughly 500 independent wholesalers that sell Anheuser-Busch beverages to restaurants, bars, grocery stores, according to interviews with 2 distributors, 2 sales supervisors, and Frericks. The sales supervisors and distributors declined to share their names because they didn't want to be publicly identified speaking about the financial consequences of the boycott. Compensation for salespeople differs wildly between different distributors, but a typical salesperson makes about $60,000 a year, including $20,000 in variable pay that depends largely on commission, said Frericks, who left Anheuser-Busch InBev last year. That's rough. So you're gonna lose about $20,000. So you're gonna go from $60,000 a year to about $40,000 a year, maybe even 50 if you only lose about half due to the whole boycott and everything. That's still crazy. That's crazy. Imagine someone taking 10 grand out of your pocket. 10 grand out of your pocket and pissing it away. That's essentially what happened when these corporations got woke. And Anheuser-Busch is not going to do anything to make it better for these distributors. It says good people are going to start leaving because they aren't making money, Frericks told ABC News. Well, they should. They should leave. Go to a company that actually somewhat gives a shit about you, right? Like every corporation, for the most part, doesn't care about you. But there are some out there that are pretty good to work for. Go work for them. Don't go work for these corporations that don't give a fuck about you. The distributor might have cared about you. It seems like they do. But ultimately, they are tied to a corporation that is making decisions that they are doing without a single care in the world for you as a whole. On an earnings call last month, Anheuser-Busch InBev CEO Michael Ducaris acknowledged the strain that the boycott has placed on the workers in the field. This situation has impacted our people and especially our frontline workers, the delivery drivers, sales representatives, our wholesalers, bud owners, and servers, Ducaris said. These people are the fabric of our business. They are our neighbors, family members, and friends. They are in every community in America, Ducaris added. We've been doing everything we can to support our teams. Yeah, by giving them a free case of Bud Light. Seriously? Like you gave them a free case of Bud Light as if that's going to make up that $10,000 to $20,000 a year that they're losing because you decided to get woke. That is a great compensation, Anheuser-Busch. Great. Let people get drunk over their loss of money. That's going to really help them. This is so stupid. Like I swear, these corporations really are out of touch. They don't care about what happens to the people who are actually selling their product. They never do. And now this is really showing the hypocrisy of these corporations on full display. And I'm happy. I'm happy that it's finally coming out. I'm happy people are finally seeing what Anheuser-Busch is really about. And don't get me wrong, Bud Light had a perfect ESG score, ladies and gentlemen. They had an absolutely perfect ESG score, 100 out of 100, and they gave it all up for Dylan Mulvaney. It was the most stupid decision in the world, and all because Alyssa decided to take it upon herself with the blessing of her overseers. Let's not get it twisted. She definitely got the blessing. They're just trying to make it seem like she was the rogue agent in all of this. No, she definitely did it. She definitely was the one that made the choice, but she was blessed by people who were well above her to go forward with it. So they now have to reap the benefits of what they sowed, and that is basically massive sales drops to the likes of almost 60%, which is unbelievable. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.